already, so just checking out yesterday's progress. The boat is so fared now, it's pretty awesome. This is quite the smooth bottom. I guess I'll see a little bit of the dimples of some of the blisters. I still only have 2 coats on, so we have 2 coats on. I'm gonna get it to 4, and then we do the last one, which is the 5th one, right like a couple hours before we bottom paint, so the 2 chemical layers can bond. So I'll get the hull to 4. The keel's already at 4, so that's ready to go. Yeah, super stoked of how smooth the boat is. Ready to go racing.
Over the last month, we've been working on getting the hull of our boat ready for bottom paint. And in the last couple weeks, we, along with a team of friends, finally finished the last round of sanding and fairing the blisters and various cracks and divots that needed work. Weeks ago, after the blisters were fiberglassed, the process of fairing began. We raised our water lines so the old seam was sanded, plus we had many other spots of damage that needed attention. And thus the process began of fairing each blemish using compound, then sanding them down over and over again, the same cycle repeated until the entire hull was nice and smooth. Finally, over the last couple of days, we glassed the through hulls, a process which was followed by rounds of sanding. Then the keel was given more attention to reveal its shiny lead surface after multiple rounds of sanding. After all of this, barrier coat, the first of many rounds of paint to follow, was finally applied. First to the keel, and then to the hull. We applied 2 full coats. And that brings us to today.
So the next thing I'm gonna work on is cleaning up the keel a little bit. You can see we still have the voids here, and because this is the lead and this is fiberglass, I'm gonna do 5200, which has some stretch to it. If I glass this, because the materials have different flexing characteristics, it's not likely would crack the epoxy. So yeah, then the keel should be pretty well fared. Also, there's like little dimples like all over the keel. I'm gonna go ahead and fair that. That was on the advice of Total Boats Tech Support. I thought fair it before we painted it, but they said the fairing compound, which is epoxy based, will actually adhere better to the barrier coat. So, and I don't know if it's a huge deal. You know, obviously speed, like these little dimples are not gonna slow us down that much, but I was talking about one of my buddies here, and they're saying for cleaning the bottom, the growth will get in there, so it's just easier if you have a smooth surface. So why not just do one more round of fairing on the keel or 2, and then continue with the barrier coating. Just gotta rub it down, get it ready for some total fair. You can see it's a pretty good example here. I guess maybe the camera's not showing it, but it's pretty clean. But I figure give it a little rubby. Much better. I mean, you can see all these little green dots are areas that were deeper and the fairing stayed in, so quite a few divots on the lead.
Next, Bill tapes the keel joint to prepare for application of 5200, which will bridge the gap between the lead keel and fiberglass hull. 5200 is a permanent type of sealant that will fill the gap but also provide flexibility between the lead and fiberglass, which move differently.
For some 5200, get this joint all taped up. There we go. It's not so pretty, but it's not so bad. It's a nice waterproof joint. So you might notice I'm here on my own a lot lately. Grace is actually back in Phoenix. She's been having some health issues to deal with doctors with, so it's been kind of lonely over here at the boatyard sometimes. Thankful for Demetrius and Jared to come out and help. That's been a lifesaver for us. But yeah, she's dealing with some health issues, and hopefully we'll get her repaired just like Calico is getting repaired right now. Stay tuned.
Late yesterday, Bill caught a ride up to Arizona, where he joined me for a doctor's appointment before picking up our new 410-watt solar panel from SunPowered Yachts, which will actually be our third new solar panel, in addition to 2 other 410-watt panels we picked up in Arizona a couple weeks ago.
As tall as I am. They got solar panels.
Oh god. We've always come with so much stuff, but we made it.
Time for Brooklyn Gary. Whoopsies. I forgot that we have absolutely no water at the apartment. You can't drink the water out of the tap here in Puerto Penasco. So we have to go on a late night water run so we can have coffee in the morning.
I have to have my coffee in the morning, especially when we have to be at the boatyard at 7 a.m.
Bye-bye.
Shall we?
Maybe we should film it off a little bit.
To the streets of Penasco. Yeah.
Act tough.
Yeah, act tough.
You like our monster truck?
Thanks, it's not ours.
You roll up in a different car every day, huh?
Oh, how you do it? What you do?
It's Demetrius's too. The Oxo sign coming up. Where's Penasco?
Yeah, so it's actually pretty cold in Mexico. I mean, it's about the same as it is in Arizona. But I think actually maybe a little colder because we're close to the ocean. It's like damper. So it's, what do you think it is right now?
In the 40s.
Yeah.
Maybe low 50s. But I'm still in shorts, but. So this is the Oxo. Probably the equivalent of like a 7-Eleven, but they are everywhere. Like there'll be 2 on one block.
Yeah.
And they have beer and water and all the essentials.
And eggs, which are not expensive in Mexico, even though they're really expensive right now.
I like inflation here.
Yeah.
Water.
We just walked the wrong way.
I've done this twice now. I've walked the wrong way out of the place.
I'm just like so tired right now and just not paying attention. There is something weird about this place though, Penasco. I really feel like it's really hard to like navigate. Like it's not really a grid. Everything kind of looks the same. Hola. Something about Penasco. So are we going the right? Are we going the right? Did you go the wrong way again?
It was on the right-hand side, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yes. Don't call me Magellan for nothing over here. We back.
Okay, so it is I think 9 a.m., 8:30, something, 9. We've been rushing around. I don't even know what time it is, but we're heading back to the yard. Solar panel coming with us. Oh, almost forgot my coffee.
It's like I'm driving a monster truck.
Because you are.
Yes, I am, bro. It's a big ass truck.
Demetrius is literally the man.
Yeah. I don't know how we would have done this haul out without Demetrius.
Hello, Penasco. It's a Sunday morning.
Saturday morning.
Oh God, I don't even know what day it is.
Yeah, I think you're
Saturday morning.
so much going on with all these doctors and boat work.
We don't have a Monday to Friday week. The only thing that like gives us a slight Monday to Friday concept is YouTube, because we put that out on a schedule. But yeah, when it comes to boatyard, it's 24/7.
Yeah, this is one of the downsides of the lifestyle. You had a lot of stress because we don't have a normal home to go through all these medical procedures, and it just so happens our home is not in the water, so.
Yeah, and it's funny actually because, and I haven't said this on film yet, but I'm actually really grateful that, obviously I'm really grateful that I found what I found, you know, so early, but also that for once, like in the past 7 years we've been cruising, for once I'm actually in a place that's 4 hours from really good doctors in the States. Hi guys, so we are in Scottsdale, Arizona right now in my mom's apartment. She lives here. She just is stepped out to do some errands, and we thought it would be a really good time to come on here and just give an update as to what's going on with me. I've actually been bouncing up and down between Mexico and Scottsdale for the last 6 weeks behind the scenes, because I got some news about 2 months ago now that there was something that they found in my mammogram that I needed to investigate, and it's sort of turned into a whole thing that I want to talk to you guys about now, which is basically that I've been diagnosed with DCIS, which is ductal carcinoma in situ, and it's kind of like what they consider to be stage 0 cancer. And yeah, I wanted to obviously share part of this journey with you guys, because it's what's been going on. And the reality is I haven't been at the boatyard as much as I would have been had I not been doing this. So sometimes I was editing when I wasn't there, but a lot of times I was actually kind of in the States.
Dealing with doctors.
And, you know, one appointment turned into another appointment. And kind of long story short, I originally went to the gynecologist in Penasco when we first hauled the boat out. And that's when I first had information that there could be something that needed to be looked at. And once that something kind of looked like it could really be something, that's when I decided to take everything to the States and do all my doctor's appointments in the States. And by the time that all got going, by the time I redid my original mammogram again, it was probably already 3rd week of January when I actually got my diagnosis.
Yep.
So right now what we're looking at is my options for treatment. And
so it's caught the earliest point possible, which is the good news.
Yeah.
Hasn't spread anywhere. It's considered stage 0, but unfortunately the treatment plans are relatively drastic.
Yeah, so I mean the great news is that it's stage 0 cancer and it's non-invasive. So it hasn't spread. One important thing I want to share is just that I just turned 41 and this was my first mammogram. And I have no symptoms. I have nothing no lumps. This is very microscopic. So just want to share that information, that, you know.
In case any of you are hesitating on getting
if you're hesitating,
a mammogram or any other checks you need, it goes to show the benefits of doing it.
The benefits of the mammogram. And also this particular cancer type that I have is a hormonally driven one, and it is the only breast cancer that cannot be detected in a blood test. So the only way they could ever find this is through a mammogram. In terms of treatment options, I'm looking at either a lumpectomy, which is the removal of the precancer or stage 0 cancer, or a mastectomy. And my mother had breast cancer, so I'm in a high-risk category because of that, and also because of my young age. It's relatively rare to have this at 41. So we've been to a few different doctors and surgeons now, and the recommendation has been mastectomy. The lumpectomy has some complications to consider with it, which is radiation.
Hormone therapy as well.
And hormone therapy.
Which is sort of gnarly to start with at your age.
Yeah.
Or anyone's age, I guess.
So after kind of doing a lot of research and seeing a bunch of different surgeons and doctors leaning towards a mastectomy, and now the next stage is going to be the cosmetic reconstructive part of it and what my options are with that, because I have a couple different options. And I realize right now as I'm talking to you guys that I'm probably coming off very polished about all this and not super emotional, and that's because I've had time to emotionally process it. Initially when I got the diagnosis, I was very surprised because I have no symptoms. I've always had really good checkups. And also, even when I found out that I had the DCIS, for some reason I didn't realize that mastectomy was on the table.
Yeah.
Bill did and told me, and I just kind of ignored him. So it was a bit of a shock. And so I have kind of processed that off camera. So that's kind of why I'm sounding all together right now. I haven't been all together, and it's been really hard for us to be apart, not only just because of the boat projects and the filming and our business, but You know, emotionally, obviously, we've spent the last 7 years cruising together, so it's a huge change. So yeah, now we're just into next stage land, and with my reconstructive options, we're looking at a few week recovery up to
A month. 6
month and a
weeks.
half recovery. So that's obviously going to impact our
Future plans.
future and our cruising plans and stuff. But at least for the next month, I'm going to just keep at least a month, just kind of keep doing what I've been doing and going back up and forth between
Yeah.
Penasco and Scottsdale and juggling this medical stuff.
That's the crazy news. Not
Yeah.
what we expected.
Yeah, that's what's going on, and we'll keep you guys in the loop. Leaving the boat in the water anywhere is always an issue because you have to have someone check it. So the fact that it's hauled out right now just makes it simple because all the systems are shut down. We don't have to worry about a lot of the things you would have to worry about if the boat had been in the water. So the fact that we're hauled out, we're within a drive to the stage, which also means, like, with a lot of my appointments, I haven't known when they're gonna be because everything's been happening quickly. So my schedule just has to be completely clear. I have to be able to drive up and down at a moment's notice, which again would be more challenging with a flight, not to mention a lot more expensive. So of all the places we've ever cruised, this is the best place for us to be, for this to have happened. So I'm really grateful for that. Plus, my mom and my sister live in Scottsdale, so they've been taking me to all my appointments whenever Bill hasn't been able to come up. Or chosen to come up, rather, because he will always come up whenever I want him to, but I also want him to keep working on the boat because it's our home. And yeah, when all my treatments are done, I do really want to be able to at least go back to the boat.
This is going around me.
Yeah.
The convoy.
Anyway, I think I might dread editing this because it is long, but
Maybe we'll try again.
yeah,
Explain what
but
trying to
we're almost at the
communicate.
boatyard now. And today we're gonna be working with the welder to try to get the arch.
Yeah, 'cause that's one of the things that's keeping me
Done.
down here because I have to be with him to basically every weld is a decision point, every pipe we put on. So I'm hoping to get that really moving along so I have more flexibility in my schedule because the bottom paint is pretty easy just to throw on. Yeah.
Oh wow. There we go. Hey Ryan!
Mira.
Buenos dias.
That worked muy bien.
Oh,
So,
bueno. Ajá.
es bueno.
Oh, sí, está bien. Muy bien.
Yeah, so sí, muy bien. And un poquito. So,
Poquito. Ajá.
yeah, so, solamente. Siempre un poquito más.
Sí.
Un poquito más aquí.
Por la...
Sí, por la, sí. El motor.
Ajá.
Okay. Ay, cuidado. You're in la ropa. Don't trip.
Our 3 new 410 watt panels from SunPowered Yachts use their new Maxion Gen 5 cell, which is 65% larger than their predecessors, and provides the most powerful cell and highest efficiency panel in the commercial solar industry. Here in out of nowhere at the right time.
Ryan comes out of nowhere.
The stage we're at right now is just to fit everything and see how well it actually covers up the cockpit and how well everything fits. So that's what we're doing right now.
It's gonna actually go sideways too, like this way. Okay. So rotate. There we go. And probably there's gonna be 2 here as the roof.
Boom, boom.
Yeah, so it's gonna have to go out a little bit.
Okay.
This is as far back as it's gonna go is here.
Right there.
Because the boom has to clear. So like that.
Each panel is capable of generating between 29 to 35 amps in an hour, and the estimated daily yield per panel is 135 amp hours. For some perspective, our daily power usage is around 300 amps, give or take. This would be a good time to mention that we have a pretty good discount code with SunPowered Yachts, so check out the link here if you're interested. Hey there!
How are you? Kind of early drinking tequila, but
It's not tequila.
what is it?
Mezcal.
Try it. I'll sip it. You want to sip too, honey?
No,
No.
thank you.
I'll take a sip.
Well, what it is I'm still drinking my coffee,
You can even put it in your coffee.
Thank you.
Actually, I'll show you some here.
That's all pretty nice.
Oh wow, it's got a
Smoky.
yeah. There's an alcoholic smell to it.
No.
That's actually pretty good.
This is it though.
Cheers. Cheers. Thanks for this.
What you think there, honey?
Pretty good for 10 o'clock in the morning.
We're not
Thanks,
judging.
Sal.
We're not judging. New York? I'm on New York time, right?
It's New York.
I think we're getting there, hon.
Yeah, you feel good?
Más bonito.
Más bonito.
Yeah, I
but
know, it
very-
looks great.
We're gonna cut off this little last bit here.
Okay.
We gotta look to see where the wind generator is going because I want to keep that away from the panels. Como se dice drunk?
Chat.
No, drink, drunk. Borracha.
Borracha.
Borracha. Salvador del Dia de la Borracha. Yes. Mucho tequila.
We're just talking about how we are so happy we got to film that little tequila shot thing because the person who offered us the shot, that was actually Sal, who's
The owner.
boatyard. He manages it, so.
Yeah, it's been I think part of the thing that we've been struggling to capture is the fun that goes on this boatyard. So everyone works really hard, but there's actually like a really tight-knit community of folks here, including like the workers, and like if you notice the refrigerator behind where we were drinking the tequila, some of the boaters actually brought it down for the yard workers. They have like Cokes and juices and water every day for them. So it's a really nice place to have your boat hauled out. And they're all really good guys, the workers. Like Ricky and I don't speak the same language, but we're always somehow sharing laughs, as you notice. Like
Yeah.
we make do in broken Spanish, but yeah, so it's been a really great place to haul our boat. Proximity to the States, people who work here are amazing, and then all the sailors are super helpful, so.
So Bill keeps doing this and it's really making me uncomfortable. Okay.
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
I mean, so since the last time Grace was here, I had Gary and Demetrius with me, and we kind of like stress tested this thing by just like really shaking it. I had a lot more play before, especially side to side. So the things that we've subsequently added since then are this. So we took a bit of 1-inch pipe from our old davit. This is 1 1/4. This is 1 inch. So we added this to the stern rail, and Ricky's also gone ahead and welded our stern rail to the mount. So there used to be 2 set screws back here. Problem we were facing mostly, it was very strong this way, like pulling down,
Yeah.
but we had a lot of side-to-side play, which now we don't have much of. We added this because this merges this into one giant cross beam across, because now it's all integrated into the boat this way. And then we also added these handholds here, this triangle, there's 4 triangles, and that also stiffened the side-to-side play. Like we were able to shake the whole this thing side-to-side previously, and now we can't.
So you added this bar.
Yep, so that also helped get rid of the sideways play, you know, this makes this pocket safer. The other thing we added, this is for the paddleboard. I don't know if Grace saw this one either. This is so we can slide our paddleboard right onto the shelf, and then we're gonna put line to secure it here. I'm gonna put a little clamp, and this is where the dinghy's gonna hang from, like the dinghy lines. Hopefully this clears that. This is where the kayak's gonna hang from. Ricky welded on D-rings here for ratchet straps, because we used to put it to the spinnaker blocks back there, but this is a way better solution, so we can really ratchet strap down the boat.
Yeah. That's great.
What else have we done to this thing?
Join us next time as boat work ramps up. We solve new problems of the arch-related variety, admire new additions,
Time.
take a break for once, do more painting, install transducers,
Have some in here.
and generally crush a lot of boat work. Woohoo!